Sound check 1 2 1 2. Welcome in to another SR51 Media stream. I am your host, Saltares. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on what side of the globe you're on, what side of the country you're in. Hopefully, you're having a good day. If you're not, hopefully that day turns around for you today. I found some new information before we jump into what I'm going to be doing in Madden. I wanted to at least give my opinions on some things, just about 5 minutes real quick. So there was a PlayStation showcase today. If you did not watch it, go back on YouTube, check it out. I'm pretty sure it's available. I watched about maybe like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I came in towards the end. To be honest with you, I didn't even know it was on. I don't have alerts set for that sorts of stuff. I saw that they have what's the name of the guy? I saw that they have Wolverine is a new game coming out, and I saw that they have what's the name of that thing? Spider-Man 2 coming out. Now, just to tell you myself, I feel that one of the best games that Marvel has ever released in these past couple years was Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the Black Order. In Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the Black Order, which is exclusive to the Switch, you get to play as everybody. Like at one point, what happened was I had the game, I sold my Switch, I haven't bought the game back yet. But when I was playing the game, I was able to see that this was one of the best games to be brought out by Marvel because you're able to take all the superheroes you want and tag them together and take on villains. So you could have Spider-Man, the Black Spider-Man, the Girl Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, Venom, Carnage, all these dudes on the same squad and play the game. So to me, I still feel as though that Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the Black Order, is still the best Marvel game that's come out. And I say that over my Marvel Ultimate Alliance Avengers game that I bought on Xbox. I still feel Nintendo has the best game. I haven't seen any gameplay for Wolverine just yet, so I can't say that it's a bad game right out the bat or anything like that. And also, I'm not going to say that it's a bad game. I think that Wolverine's probably going to come out looking like a very good looking game. I think Spider-Man 2 is probably going to be a good game. God of War Ragnarok is probably going to be a good game. And I think good games are coming out for Sony fans, so you guys should be excited. I think it's the same way with Nintendo. I think there's a lot of games on the horizon. We just got Pokemon Unite. We got a Marvel the Alliance, the Black Order. NBA 2K22, I think, is coming to the Switch, so I'm still in debates of whether I should be buying that on my Xbox or on my Switch. At the same time, on Xbox, we have a good amount of games. Forza 5 is coming out. I haven't finished Gears of War 5 yet. A lot of people said that was a good game. Halo comes out in a couple months, and there's a lot of studios working on other games. They're bringing back Fable. I never played the original Fable series, but I'm with it. For me, games, I'm going to be honest, I'm more of a multi-plat person, and it's not because I'm on Xbox or I'm not on PlayStation. I like multi-plats more than I like first party. The games that I'm looking forward to is, like you can tell, the game I'm in now, Madden. I'm looking forward to 2K. I'm looking forward to WWE 2K22. I'm looking forward, definitely one of my most adventurous games I'm looking for is Saints Row. So just to clear it up so you can understand, this is not one of those channels where I feel as though their conference was shit or they didn't have anything today. Like, these dudes had some fire today, and I think Sony guys should be happy that they're bringing the fire for you. And I think as Xbox and Nintendo guys, I think they're going to respond. Xbox will have to respond. If I could say anything, I would say Nintendo has a door to Marvel. I don't know if Xbox has the same. I'm just saying. I think that they should maybe think about. I agree with some people that they should maybe talk to DC and see if you can get some of those characters. I mean, you might not be able to work something out with a Superman right now or anything like that, but you never know. Working on a Superman game or a Flash game or a Batman game or a Green Lantern game, this is the sort of thing that if you can get it on Xbox, it can appeal to people. But, they might not want to play the superhero battle game right now, and it might cost too much money. I'm pretty sure, I don't know the ins and outs. A lot of people are like, oh, this Wolverine game is going to be this, and Sony ain't that, and this ain't the fourth, and da-da-da-da-da. Look, I feel as though they came with some bangers today. They came with some hits. And I think Spider-Man is 2023, I think. So that means if Wolverine didn't have a date, Wolverine might be after that. But to call it fair, on the Xbox side of things, we have a lot of games that are coming out, closer to 2021, 2022, 2023. So just to explain it to you if you don't know, right now we're in a situation where a lot of consoles are not in the hands of everybody. Like, I'm still playing on last gen Xbox because I haven't been able to catch up to an Xbox Series X that I want just yet. A lot of people have not bought an Xbox Series X or a PlayStation 5. So some games, I read somewhere in a comment section that PlayStation 5 has Spider-Man 2 exclusively. I think that's kind of messed up because people that have PS4, now they have to upgrade to play that next Spider-Man. It's kind of like forcing it on you and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's the Sony side of things. I just wanted to stop and take a minute and say, hey, they got some good things coming out. It doesn't make me feel like I need to get rid of my Xbox to own a PlayStation 5. I think that if I had to call it fair, for every big game like that comes out, there's a multiplayer that comes out. So I just wanted to at least explain that even though I'm an Xbox guy, I think the Wolverine game, I think Spider-Man 2, I think God of War Ragnarok, I think those are 3 good games that are coming in the next 3-4 years to PlayStation. You just have to understand you're going to have to buy a PlayStation 5 to play it. And I think Xbox, I'm going to say it too, I think Xbox is going to start doing the same thing. I'm not going to sit here and believe that, PlayStation's the only one that's dropping games exclusive to the new consoles. Like, Xbox is going to do it too, So I'm not a hater. I don't have any hate towards Sony or anything like that. I think that, Spider-Man looks good, Wolverine looks good. But if I had to call it fair, I feel as though the best Marvel game that's come out, including the one that I bought for $100 on my Xbox, I think the best Marvel game is Marvel Ultimate Alliance Black Order, exclusive to the Switch, because they give you all the characters. One thing that I noticed playing these games is when you play as one character, it gets boring. After a period, like, don't get me wrong, but once you beat Spider-Man one time, you're not going back to beat it again, right? Whereas with Marvel Ultimate Alliance, it's the type of thing where I got to get the game again. But when I was playing in my last setup, I think I had Spider-Man, Hulk, Venom, and somebody else, I think from the Guardians of the Galaxy, all playing on the same team going up against enemies and stuff. Now, you could look it up and see. It's been out. I think it came out like a year or so ago. But I still feel as though it's the best game if you want all the characters. Now, if you want just Spider-Man or just Wolverine, then yeah, you want to buy a PlayStation. If you want Marvel Avengers, you can get that on PlayStation and you can get that on Xbox. So I saw a lot of, I even had to back out of a couple channels I was listening to because they just started hating on Sony. Then you go to another channel, they're hating on Xbox. And I'm like, that's why I put out the tweet, and I'll read it to you if you're not with us on Twitter. I posted it like maybe 36 minutes ago. I wrote, hashtag 51 Dynasties. There's good games coming these next few years for both consoles. We are winning right now as gamers and consumers. Gamers/consumers. And the games are coming. Great time to be a gamer no matter the side you're on. Hashtag gamer, hashtag winning, hashtag gamers unite, hashtag Xbox. And then I used a little gif from Kevin Hart that says, it's about to go down. Because when you think about it, man, it's going down. Like, you should be hyped. If you have a PlayStation, you should be hyped. If you have an Xbox, you should be hyped. If you have a Nintendo, you should be hyped. If you have all of them, you should be super hyped. For me right now, I'm running the Xbox and the Nintendo. I'm focusing on my Nintendo Switch OLED. I really think that screen is going to be immaculate. I can't wait to go back to some games I played previously and play it again. Right now, Madden has my full attention. If you did not read the tweets previous, I have decided to not day one NBA 2K22. I feel that I'm going to get the game. I just don't know where I want to get the game, like whether I want the game on Xbox or whether I want it on Nintendo Switch. And at the same time, I'm so deep in the Madden right now where I'm probably not going to play it, so it doesn't really justify the pre-order. So I have rescinded my first day one when it comes to NBA 2K22. Now, some of the games I'm looking at just to give you for the channel is WWE 2K22. So far, I plan on being there day one. I know I'm taking a risk. I know people in the chat are like, don't do it because the last game was buggy. But, I'm a big fan of WWE. Grew up on them, raised me since the Attitude Era. That's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so type stuff. Suck it. Rest in peace. Attitude Era type stuff. So I think it'll be pretty good to get a WWE 2K game in there. I'm a little sketchy when it comes to the story because, to be honest, 2K, a lot of times they put stories in games that I just don't feel. So, hopefully they have an exhibition mode that's very good because I don't know what the story's going to be, but I am pretty excited for that game. I'm super excited for Saints Row. They're back. I'm big fans of the Row. I've said it previously. I feel as though Saints Row is better than GTA. I feel as though they were not clones, that they were doing their own thing. And in a way, GTA started to copy them. When you look close, GTA is not GTA anymore. It's kind of like a copy of Saints Row. And if you don't know, they just released information today that GTA 5 is coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. So if I had to guess, 9 times out of 10, that means you ain't getting a GTA 6 in the next 2-3 years easy. They're going to do at least 2 years or 3 years on the system. If I had to guess, GTA 6 does not come out until they fully switch over from Xbox and PlayStation 5 because they probably don't want to release the game that way. Now, I could be wrong, but if you're releasing GTA 5 to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, that means GTA 6 probably ain't coming this year. So you can take that off a route. So for me, there's a lot of things that I go different than other people on, but at the same time, I don't hold, when I was watching the show, I was like, it was a bar scene. Wolverine looked like he had beat a guy up and he was coming at him with a knife. If you haven't checked it out, look on YouTube for Wolverine game or Sony Showcase. Go watch the whole Sony Showcase. To call it fair, a lot of people were saying that the first part of the showcase wasn't good, but when you saw the Wolverine trailer and he put his knives out and it went to black, it was like, cool, they're coming with a Wolverine game. That's probably going to be tough. Spider-Man was very gorgeous. It's made by the same studio. Probably going to be a gorgeous looking game. Then they showed Spider-Man tag teaming with the black Spider-Man to beat a guy up, and then they looked into the alleyway and Venom was in the alleyway. To me, when I saw those two things, I was like, wow, Sony got some good games. Man, I need to rebuy Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the Black Order. I need to get this game back on my Switch. If I had lined up for games today, I would go to the store and grip it up today. Because the first thing that came into my mind, I was like, man, I might need a PS5. Then I was like, nah, I feel as though the best, to be honest, and I've told this to people, the best Marvel game is Marvel Ultimate Alliance, the Black Order on Switch. So I'm like, I'm covered. I got my OLED. That'll probably be a game I grip up this holidays to satisfy my superhero needs and stuff and just to let you know, the Nintendo Switch can be streamed the same way we're streaming the Xbox. So, when I'm playing the Switch, we can stream it. I just got to set it up so we wouldn't be, losing streams doing that. But, I was taken back by it. I was like, wow, they really do have a partnership when it comes to Marvel. And I think, in a way, Xbox, I know they got the bag. For me, you need a superhero game. Now you have Marvel Ultimate Alliance, you have Marvel Avengers, but Sony has Wolverine and Spider-Man, and Nintendo has an exclusive rights to Marvel Ultimate Alliance with all the heroes. So you need to swing back. You need to punch back. You kind of got punched in the face today. I'm an Xbox guy that'll tell you, they kind of punched you in the face today with that. Now, it doesn't make me say, all right, let's throw this box in the trash. I need to go to the store and buy a PS5. It makes me realize that basically games are coming for the next 2-3 years. And like I said in the tweet, we are winning as gamers and consumers. Whatever side you are on, the games are coming and you should be happy about it because I know I am. So I just want to take a minute to at least, just say where I was with it and stuff like that. So that way when you come and watch the stream, that's how we do around here. We put the news inside of the games. And while I'm setting things up today, I'm going to be explaining some things. We're going to be doing some things different. Now, if you've come to the stream, just to let you know, I keep a monitor on the door, right? I can tell who comes in and who comes out. I understand that on most streams, you see people just running game after game after game after game after game after game. Let me explain something to you. They're not playing franchise mode, okay? Anybody that's playing franchise mode knows you have to set the team up, and they will set the team up during the season and in the off season. So if you're expecting just game after game after game after game after game after game, no break, game after game after game after game, that's not how I play, okay? And I'm sorry if you don't like that and you want to exit. I can't do anything about that. I'm making things for the 51 dynasties that understand we're winning Super Bowls, and we're winning because we put a good team together. Now, a tip that I found out today for anybody that has Madden to make you aware is I created what is known as, just to show you, I created what is known as a online, just to take you to the menu, an online franchise. When you create an online franchise, you get updates and things like that pushed directly to you, and it saves quicker and it's saved to the cloud and all this extra stuff, right? But what ends up happening is offline mode down here, right? Offline mode is the only one that offers the ability to put money back into your franchise. So what that means is when you start your franchise, you start out with like 300 million. Let's say right now I'm at $130 million. If I wanted to add $100 million, like we won the Super Bowl, right? So let's say as a reward for winning the Super Bowl, I wanted to add $100 million back to our funds. And online mode, as it stands, I looked it up about maybe 30 minutes before I went live. You cannot do that. On offline mode, you can add money back to the team. So what that means is if you drop below, let's say $150 million over the next couple of years, you can put $150 million back, or you could put $100 million back to extend the life of your franchise. I created online modes. Now, normally in the past, this isn't something that would happen in Madden, but because this is what I'm saying, because they're live service games. Live service games are the type of games where they evolve with time. After they come out, sometimes they add features, they take away features, they put features in, and you have to roll with the punches. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to start a franchise, right? I'm not deleting, just to show you the files. I'm not deleting just to show you where we are. We still have our original Pioneers that we started when we first started up. We still have our Red Dragons that just won the Super Bowl yesterday. But what you have to, on Labor Day, but what you have to understand is these two franchises, you cannot add money back. So if I fall below a certain amount of money, I can be fired. And I can't recover the money to keep the seasons going. So I just decided, when I was looking at the information, I noticed that Madden, the update for the scouting revamp is supposed to come in September. I myself, to call it fair, don't know if I'm going to start. I know for a fact I'm not starting a created team over again just for the scouting revamp, right? But what I am going to do here to avoid us being in a situation where we don't be able to work it out, I know different things now than what I knew when I first started this Madden, so I'm going to share them with you. So when you create a league, if you want to be able to add money, you want to go to use active roster on offline mode, okay? You want to start up your franchise and you want to pick. Hold on 1 second. Let me get a vape.
Choose the team you want to start your franchise with.
A lot of times, you may want to start with your home team. Like right now, if I was to pick up the Eagles, I would have everybody that's on the Eagles and I would be working that way, right? But what would happen is it wouldn't be a relocation team. A relocation team is you take one of these teams from the list and you relocate them to a different city under a different logo, basically creating a brand new team from nowhere. Now, the reason why I picked the Lions out of any other team is because, to be honest, the Lions is like basically the lowest rated team on the game. Now, you have to understand, like what I did with the Red Dragons. If you took the lowest rated team in the NFL and won a Super Bowl with them your first year out, that means you can build a good team. So if I was to say, take somebody like the Eagles, they're at 81. They're rated higher than, like, now. See how when the year offenses come out, they're rated higher than the Falcons. The Washington football team's only one level above them. They're rated higher than the 49ers, the Giants, the Jaguars. It's one of those things where it would be giving me a leg up. Now, I'm willing to do that. Hold on 1 second. Got to switch the cords here. I'm willing to do that with the Lions because, they're not winning nothing. Nothing against them, but right now they're in, I guess, a rebuild mode as a franchise. And I want to be in the NFC, and I like being in a situation in the NFC where, I might go against the Cowboys, the Washington football team, the Giants, stuff like that, so the rivalry still lives. But I didn't relocate my Eagles, so they're still out there, so I can still get people from them and stuff like that. So I'm going to pick the Lions, right?
Go ahead to begin your franchise.
Now, when you
Click the
come in,
options on the left to
now,
edit league settings or change your role to a player or owner.
okay, now I'm not going anywhere, but this setting right here, just to let you know, league settings, at the bottom of the page of league settings, there is a thing called league password. You do not want to broadcast your league password because people can then go into your league and mess up your league. So I'm going to change the screen and change the settings here and come right back. Now, the reason why you want to do it that way, if you're a streamer, if you're thinking about streaming, is because you don't, like I said, want to broadcast your league password. What I changed was I didn't change the settings. All I changed was fill roster. Fill roster means that I turn it off. Fill roster is for when, let's say you're supposed to have 54 players, but you only have 48. What the computer will do before your next game is they will go out and search for 4 or 5 players and just add them to your team. I don't like that. I like everybody on the team being somebody that I picked up. I know they're good, and I know they'll work out, right? I also turned off what's called dev trait regression. What that means is, take Fletcher Cox for instance. I'm going to get him. I always going to get at least Fletcher Cox, right? Now Fletcher Cox is an X factor. Now 3 years from now, Fletcher Cox may get older, and what happens is the game may feel that he's no longer an X factor, and they'll take it away from him. So when you turn on dev trait regression off, what that means is whatever level a player gets to, is you never lose it. So Fletcher Cox got to an X factor, he'll always be an X factor. Aaron Rodgers was in free agency as an X factor. Certain players that are not X factors and superstars, and that goes for star, superstar, and X factor. So if a player gets up to those levels, he can't fall back down. Now what'll happen is his rating will fall, but his dev trait will not fall. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with coach firing. I turned on coach hiring and coach firing because what I noticed is NFL teams, if they can, they would fire their coach for a bad performance. And I like to see it because sometimes I might be able to pick me up a coach that, wasn't a head coach before. You never know. So I turn on dev trait progression. As far as the level, I play it out the box. I think it comes at pro or something like that. I leave it at that. I understand everybody has different levels. Some people may like Madden. Some people may like others. Here's how I look at it. I'm playing with the lowest rated team in the damn league. I'm a relocation team. I don't have any players as it stands, and I'm trying to rebuild. I'm not going to give you a leg up and say, let me make it the hardest. Play your game. If it was supposed to be played at that level, it would have came out the box at that level. I just been playing like that since day one. I feel as though as much as you think it's not hard, try it. It is hard. Some people, they change the levels for what they want to change it for. I'm pretty sure when you play tournaments, it doesn't go to Madden. I think it's pro or something like that. Because it said, let me check the league settings because I'm not going to go to the bottom. It says, yeah, pro simulation, right? So, wait, hold on. It says something about tournaments in Madden. Select the game difficult. Rookie gives you easy challenge. All Madden makes your opponent, all Madden makes your opponent almost impossible to stop. So, if that's the experience that you want, go ahead and pick that. For me, I go with pro simulation. I think a lot of times it's more difficult than what it is. You have to build a good team, and especially when you get into the playoffs, you can get bumped out if you don't play it correctly. So also what I do is I like to change the progressions. Here you have, if you want to play as a player, meaning if you want to be just your created player, or you want to be just, the player itself and only control that and don't worry about anything else, that's your option. Me, I play with owner. Owner manages the financial aspects of the team, makes stadium decisions, and still sign, draft, and trade players, right? Manage the coach and the team, rebuild your stadium or relocate it, set prices for everything you sell, get feedback from your advisors. It's the biggest open mode is owner mode. Now you have former player, right? If you want to be former player, lifelong fan, and financial mogul. I know. One second. I myself I myself go with financial mogul. And the reason why I go with financial mogul is the backstory gives you advantage financially. So I start with the 300 million and I start with money happiness. Money makes the league go round. I hate to put it to you like that, but if having a couple extra, and then I just put my name in here, of course, my gamer tag. If to be honest, if you start without financial mogul, you could start with 100 million or, so odd a million, so amount of money on and stuff like that. One second. So throw the name in, right? We're in there. We're live with the name in there. Okay, preseason is the first person going to start, and we should have. What I'm going to show you is the setting that I found about the financial differences, right? 60 staff points. They're probably going to talk about things like, oh, this is your tab window. And see, this is your tab window. And let me just open everything up so the way it doesn't talk. Okay. So what it is you see at the top right-hand corner, it says $300 million. Now, if you come over here to user teams, you want to come down to user teams, and just to let you know, in cloud mode, they will only have, and basically online mode, they will only have franchise settings, user settings, and retire. This one right here, user teams, will be missing. And you need user teams because, as you can see, you can come in, just click it, and then you come into your team, Saltares, owner, and right here, add 5 million to funds. Now, I'm going to do it once just to show it to you. So I hit add 5 million. Are you sure you want to add 5 million to the funds? Confirm. Now, when you come back out to the top, you see $305 million funds, right? So it's a little bit of a method to keep you from basically going broke. You see what I'm saying? It's one of these things where it's built into the game to keep you from basically going broke as a player, right? Now, another thing that I've noticed is with relocation teams, when you're trying to capture, like I'll show it to you, when you're trying to capture a number one pick, right? Teams will show up as the number one pick, but what I've learned is, like, okay, you see how the Bears have number one pick, right? What I've learned is, as the year goes on, this pick can change. So basically, if you trade for the number one pick, you might not be able to get the number one pick right away because of the fact that it changes during the year. So I may have to make multiple trades going into it. Also, at the same point, I normally play quarterback. I normally try to draft the quarterback, and I normally try to go into the quarterback. The thing with that is, if they don't have a good quarterback in the draft, then I could be in a bad situation because I have to re-roll the franchise. To avoid doing that and avoid having to re-roll for a quarterback, if it's not there, play a different position. I've decided that I wouldn't mind playing defensive tackle beside Fletcher Cox, or halfback, halfback or defensive tackle. I'm willing to shuffle around. I don't have to be the QB. So one of the first things I would recommend is if you bought the edition that comes with staff points, I would say you come into your staff. First thing I do normally, franchise staff. First thing I do is fire everybody. This team was on a losing streak before I got here. So there is no reason that all these people need to be here. The coach that I had last time was Emmanuel Ortega, right? So I know I can hire Emmanuel Ortega. And then offensive coordinator was, which one was it? It was him, Jamie Rodriguez. And then defensive coordinator for me was Price. So when you come in here, just to show you that I'm, slowing it down today, not just blazing through it. When you come in here to pick your players, you can see your coaching staff. This is brand new to Madden 22. This is not available on any Madden previous to this. Normally, you don't hire your offensive coordinator and your defensive coordinators in this fashion. But as you can see, these players have certain dev traits, right, and certain hiring bonuses. So when I hire Pierce, I get 33 points. As you can see, we're at 119 now, right? He has an offensive playbook of Gruden and the ball from the Dolphins. He can work, right, with my team. But you want to pick a person that works for your standpoint, and you want to also view this. This year, I know, let's skip through this. So I'll explain it to you. Basically, what it is these are dev traits, okay, algebraics, upgrades. Like look at this upgrade right here. Gain the ability to equip X factors on defensive lineup. Boost tackle for left ends, deep tackles, right ends. Boost play recognition by cornerbacks. These are the things that help your players evolve faster. Okay, I'm using the word evolve like this is Pokemon, but why not? Okay, these are the type of things that help your players progress faster, become more dynamic players, become superstars, become X factors. They help your rookies. They help a lot. So when you get these points, these staff points, you want to use them in the right positions. So for me right now, I'm not going to put down any staff points because of the fact that certain players are not on the team that I want to be on the team just yet. And now that we have access to the funds and we can, work some funds, we have more access to more players. So we might actually pay out some contracts that wasn't going to be paid out before. Stadium. So to relocate a team, also to let you know, you want to come into stadium. First of all, in the settings, you want to go to where it says relocation settings, and you want to turn it to all users only. What that means is only user teams can relocate. If you don't turn that on, what's going to end up happening is that you're not going to be able to relocate the team. This option right here, rebuild and upgrade, will be available, but relocate will not be there. So you have to turn on all users can relocate only, right? So I'm going to hit relocate. Are you sure you want to convert? Are you sure you want to relocate? Yes. You will be notified when it's time to choose your new city. So what you want to do is every week that you're simulating through, week after week after week after week, you want to make sure that you get the answers in. It should come in this part up here in the top part of this menu up here, where basically what's going to happen is they're going to ask you questions like, hey, do you want to relocate the team to this city? What's the name? What city do you pick? What jerseys do you pick? What team do you pick? You see what I'm saying? 1 second. Okay, I know we're just getting started and it's not going to be too long, but I'm going to be taking a small break. Give me about a couple minutes just to refresh a bit, and then I'll be right back. All right, peoples, I'm back. Basically, we all adults. I had a chilled smoke break. I don't take that long. Um, basically, that's why we do an adult brand, so we don't have to hide those things. If you are enjoying adult beverages tonight, tonight, if you are enjoying adult beverages, which is oh, if you are enjoying adult beverages, which is okay. Just make sure you're doing it in a safe way. What's that thing? You're supposed to mix in waters, take a water break every now and again. Uh, do it in small doses, basically. Enjoy your day safely in moderation. That's what they say in the commercials. If you're living in a free state of laws, in a way, like some states are, like Washington, Jersey, and others, and you have your treats and things like that from the store, then basically you should, enjoy them nicely, enjoy your day. Try not to do anything wild, because people tend to do wild things. I see a lot of videos. But we're going to jump back in here to things that was just, sharing certain stuff. And it's nothing new to everybody that's, a part of the 51 Dynasties. I tell you what's going on. Okay, so we managed the staff. We grabbed the staff, a new staff. Now, what's going to happen is at the end of the year, people that are going to get fired. Like, I was surprised in my other franchise where we won the bowl. Nick Sirianni got fired, if I'm saying his name correctly. Our coach got fired. Pete Carroll got fired. Mike Tomlin got fired. Like, you had your pick of coaches. Even the Washington football team's coach got fired. So when I picked up, I think it was Riverboat Ron, Ron Riviera, right? When I picked him up, basically, he played like half the season and then left to be the Panthers head coach. It's recorded in the Madden franchise playlist on the YouTube channel. For anybody wondering if you're seeing this outside of YouTube on the website. So I was kind of hesitant, and I am kind of hesitant now on hiring coaches that are AAA rated coaches. Like, I would like to have Mike Tomlin, but would he be my defensive coordinator? Like, is he only going to be a head coach? And then also, just to show you these dev traits too, a little pro tip here, another one. When you get into the talent tree of each coordinator, right, it costs money. It costs that staff points. You accumulate them in game through playing, Madden games in your franchise. Now, if you simulate, I don't know the rules on that, so you might want to test that out before you actually do it. But when you do that, when you put these points in here, unless you have one of the settings, I think the head coach, I'm not going to skip through all of them, but somewhere in there in all of these settings, the head coach, the offensive, the defensive, those three, there's a setting in there where you can get some points back if you fire them, right? If you fire your offensive coach or your defensive coach. I think it's under head coach, if I'm not mistaken. Try head coach, right? So you have to remember that not only do you not get back some of those points if you don't have that activated, also, when you pick one trait, sometimes they may not let you pick the other side. So you have to pick what's the main thing. Like, normally I'll pick this because I want all of these. Like the quarterbacks, the cornerbacks, and the halfbacks, will get better during the year. But I'm not going to activate it now because we're going to see, if anyone was fired or if anyone left and things like that before we start investing into dev traits. And because we need the points later on and we can use them while we're building a team. Now, we also just showed that the user team setting gives you the window to be able to add funds and things like that, right? So, if I'm not mistaken, let me take a trip over here to, should be under franchise settings. Okay, 1 second. Don't you? Okay. Salary cap. I keep the salary cap off just because of the fact that it just plays better to me. Everybody's salary cap is off, all the way around the board. I've seen players get signed for what was TJ Watt's contract a minute ago, a couple $100 million or $100 million, something like that. him and Josh Allen got signed for that by their teams. You know, it's odd how the season, you know, the NFL looks 4 or 5 years from now, or 2 or 3 years from now when you move forward in the computer's mind, basically, through simulation. So, okay, we're in week 1. First thing we're going to do here is going to find out what free agents, because like I said, you have to put what I normally do, right? I start with the quarterback. Well, you don't start with the quarterback. You start with this guy. Mitchell's free. Mitchell Schwartz. I'll let him tell you.
Superstar and superstar X Factor players will progress faster over time. Players can improve their development trait by being one of the top performers in the league at their position. This is the Abilities tab. Here you can see what abilities a player has and what effects they have in game. Abilities are available to both Superstar and Superstar X Factor players. Unlock ability slots by improving the player's overall rating.
Here's the thing. A guy like him, I've played with him on the previous franchises before. He's going to want a pretty hefty contract, but to get a superstar on the team to start it out from free agency, you pick somebody like that up, right? $6 million for a year doesn't seem like it's a problem to me. Richard Sherman, I pick him up just off of who he is. Like, I know he can play. I've seen him play in real life. He's at 85 now. Straight up pick up. Certain players from the top 100, you just know. DeCastro, top of his position, star, young, 7, pick him up, right? Now, what's going on is the count for players is going up because I'm at 73 and supposed to have 75. Oliver, I want to say, we're going to go with Vernon, right? At left end, we don't have a left end there as it stands. He's out for 23 weeks. Sign him, right? Because he does end up becoming a good player. KJ Wright plays the zone and the man very well for a right outside linebacker, and I've seen him develop himself into a star in other franchises. Sign him, right? The punter, Morstead, he stayed on for a good amount of time and didn't end up retiring on me on previous franchise. Sign him. Right? These are all people coming from free agency. All right, and then you go position by position, right? So, myself, I'm going to bring Colin Kaepernick on because what's going to end up happening is in the previous franchises we would do, if I didn't draw a quarterback, like when I go to get the draft picks, because you don't get them until like week 3, right, of simulation, where you can see basically what new rookies are coming out and if there's a good quarterback. So basically, I get capped because I feel like if I can't find a good quarterback, you know, you have a pretty good quarterback that can, you know, play the quarterback position for you, and I can play defensive tackle or something and don't have to worry about it. So caps are signed. I like how they had a window. Congratulations, you're about to sign Colin Kaepernick. You know, I think it's one of those, like, you know, certain people don't, and only people that would have signed him would have seen the message. Out of halfback room, I'm good. I'm looking more for power backs, and everybody in the power back room has been around for a while and a little far. Fullback, pick that up. We're going to get use check. Wide receiver, nope. Tight end, yep. Trey Burton is a pretty good player. He ends up becoming a nice draft pick. Yeah, really draft pick. On a trade, he can end up becoming a very nice draft pick. Tackles. No, we're going to leave Okun. Kalichi Osemele. Heard his name told the right way in the game. Couple streams back. Sign him. Good lineman. Okun, we could sign Okun as well. Got a little thin on the line as things went on. And that's why I said it's better for center, 74. What's his rating? He's pretty high. Oh, yeah, team player. Look at the nice green and yellow stats. Yeah, bring him on. We got pretty high on the list of wins. If I wasn't mistaken, when we simmed it the last time, they ended up winning the Super Bowl under just simulation. I didn't play a single game. I plan on the same way now. Like, basically sim through. If I remember correctly, didn't they call him Damian Snacks Harrison? Heard an announcer maybe call him that one time. Or it was Sacks. Star, huh? What's the stats look like? Not bad. Discipline penalty tendency. Might be able to work something out. Sometimes you bring players on, they play the year, you see if they can play, and also see if you want to pay them the money to play. Cameron Wake and other players, no. Reuben Foster's a pretty good middle linebacker. Now, I'm not doing this to just randomly do it. I'm doing it because you're going to need some... Vic Beasley. Hold on. I remember Vic. What's his stats looking like? Maybe he's a 70? Ooh. Oh, and he's spontaneous now? Undisciplined penalty tendency? Wow, he's really changed. Nathan Gary. Oh. Run stopper Nathan Gary. Former Eagle Nathan Gary. Oh. Nah. Be a spot that I could develop somebody else like a rookie or something like that. Josh Norman, yep. Garyon Connolly, 78. 2 ticks away from 80. Can't tackle for anything. So he's a cover corner. Yeah. Let's bring him on and see if we can work something out, at least for the 3 weeks of preseason simulation. Yeah, bring on Earl Thomas. Just to have backup of that. All right. Okay, we're at 86. You can only carry 75. So there's people we're already gonna get rid of, and I can just work that into. So what I'm gonna do is keep things limited. There's only, say maybe one Eagle. Say I go for just Fletcher Cox, and then, well, we could use the line as well. We'll see what happens. But I know with Fletcher Cox, what they're looking for a defensive tackle. No interest in Harrison. We'll come back to him next year. Save that for next year. Because we'll get locked into, 30 million different trades. So what we can do is just shed the 11 and then save that part for.
Easily see how many players. Here are some recommendations to get you started.
Cut him. Him too. All reds would basically be cut. Start that way. It depends on how you're developing your season. But normally when you cut a player, you see that this window comes up. It says it clears no increase in cap space. A lot of them, now this one does. 920K. Right? 850,000. I'm going to lose 140, but I'm going to gain an 850, so I cut them. Him as well. All right, now we're getting into positions that we might not need to. Let's go to cornerback. Cut him. Carrying like 4 quarterbacks over here. Cut him as well. And you got Jared Goff playing behind Colin Kaepernick. You're under the player count. Let's come over here to, where would it be at? Not built trades, but for, what do you call that? The block. Mariota. I normally pick up Mariota, but now, yeah, you know what? Depends on what they want. Because I remember last time they wanted to get paid for Mariota, and I'm not in the business of giving them too much. Yeah, forget it. You can keep him. We'll try something different than him. Kareem Hunt ended up becoming a good halfback. But if I remember correctly, the Browns wanted a player and a half for him. No interest in Colony. I always start from the bottom up. We can give him Richard Sherman or Josh Norman. Let's try and work something out with him. We have a lot of picks, and then the draft after this when we have full picks. So what about a 4th from next year? 3rd. I always go bottom up as well when it comes to picks. Okay, so I know they don't feel he's a first round halfback because that's not going to happen. Nah. I'm not giving them a first. So let's see if a 3rd from this year matters more than a 3rd from last year. I mean next year. We'll throw another 2nd. Alright, so how about a 2nd? I'm willing to go with a 2nd and a 2nd, but you're not getting anywhere near our 1st for him. Alright, that'll work. 2 seconds will work. 2nd round in this year, 2nd in another one. Oh, Zach Ertz. I always pick up Ertz. He ends up holding out to be a good player. They're looking for a defensive tackle. All right, how about Harrison and Hector? Harrison, Hector, and you can have McNeil. All right, we picked up Zach Ertz on the way. We got Kareem Hunt, so we have our at least center. What do you call that? Center running back. Oh, Ioannidis. He ended up becoming a good defensive tackle too. And if I don't get Fletcher Cox, then that's $25 million that I don't have to pay out. So let's see if we can't loosen him from this team. You ain't getting Penny Sewell. You can forget that. No, I'm not even gonna offer him. They ain't gonna want that. Let's go. Yeah, Jonah. Jonah, and they want a middle linebacker. Reuben Foster. Nope. Alright. I noticed that he comes down. He gets paid too much in my book, to be honest. They ain't getting no draft picks for him, so we're gonna try And they ain't getting Hawkinson, or Ertz. Yeah, Fells. So, I still have Trey Burton. No interest. All right. They can go ahead and keep him. Because 9 times out of 10, I'm going to end up trading him anyway. Alright, no other. Alright. So we're at 74. We're under the thing. We have Cap, Ertz, Kareem Hunt. I wanted to take, let me see something. Sitting on the side, we took a shot at that. Because I think last time I went through like 6 trades and it ended up being that they wanted a first round pick for Fletcher Cox. So we can just go ahead and jump ahead of that. Let me see if I can also pick up BG in this trade as well. So we have 2 firsts next year, and I'd be willing to part with a 13th one. I need a little bit more to push him over the edge, so I throw a 5th first. Take the 5th back. 4th. They looking for a left outside linebacker. See if they have any interest in him first before we go just picks. Okay, they have green interest in him. The heck? Oh, it must have been the draft picks that pushed them over. So they don't have interest in players, they want picks. They better not do this later on down the road too. Be pissed. 4th. 4th got us almost there. 3rd. And what I'm doing is putting together a trade package. Alright, so a 3rd from next year. 1st and a 3rd from next year. And a 6th from this year. They're worth it. Okay, so the 6th ain't gonna do it. So let's move it up to a 5th. So we'd be getting rid of all these picks from next year, and the only pick that would hit us in this upcoming draft would be a 5th round pick. They want a little bit more. Howie know how to haggle, boy. Let's just grab a. Oh, let's see if we can get that left outside linebacker out of here, even though they're not looking for players. Not against them, but we can see if that'll push him over. I guess the player thing upsets him, which is odd. We're already giving them a 1st, and we're already giving them a 3rd from next year, so another 3rd from this year. I can see that. It depends on if they'll take it. Okay. I'll walk away with that because I gave up a 1st round and a 3rd round next year and a 3rd round from this year. So our picks now stand at 1st, 5th, 6th, and that's the end. But we still have to shed a lot of players like 3 weeks from now when we simulate it, because you can't have 75 players. I forget what the number is. I think it's 53. Cut 1 player. Okay. 1 second. Okay, so we have to cut one player. Left tackle, cut him. We're not going to get into the rest of the cuts because that comes a week from now. Okay. The roster is up from 73 to 75. So, you know, it's a good thing. Advance a week. If they beat the Bills, that'll be something. Well, it's preseason, but still. Last team won the Super Bowl. You never know what could happen. Loss. One thing we'll be doing is upgrades and scouting. Everything else will be just him. He's elusive and he's receiving. Let's go. Let's keep going with elusive. Let's keep his elusive stuff going. Star too. Everybody else gets upgraded on their original stats. I know the rest of them normally don't make the team, and I think Tavi, the only reason why he didn't end up staying was because of his money. All right. Well, you know what we can do? No, I can't jump the week because they might ask me about the team, and then that'll mess the whole thing up. That's another thing too to let you know. After realizing that, when you're doing this, right, and you're simulating, you don't want to simulate in chunks. Like you don't want to simulate the preseason or the regular season because on certain weeks they're going to ask you, where do you want to move the team? Who is going to be the team? What's going to be the logo? What's going to be the jerseys? If you simulate a chunk and it was in that chunk, they're just going to pick for you. And unless you like random selections, you know, that's not going to work. Okay, upgrade players. Who gets an upgrade? Yeah. Upgrade him to power. Romeo can get upgraded to power if I'm saying his name correctly. Nicole. Roby. Put it on zone. We play more zone. If he's going to stay around. If he's going to stick around for the long haul, I would prefer him to be, I would prefer him to be a zone player. John Pensy. Run stopper. He's on the normal trait. Yeah, everybody else upgrade themselves. And we're building money at the same time. Like we're at, are we losing money or making money? Let me see. $309 million. Okay, so you got to cut 22. So I'm gonna cut all the players that I know would have basically no interest around the league. Let's go position by position. Just Goff and him. I gotta clear out that practice squad later too. Nah. Cut him. Practice squad him. Cut him. Got him. Got him. Logan Steinberg, moving to the practice squad. Oh yeah, Vitae somehow put in the trade. Got him. Uh, got him. Him too. Practice squad him. Right in. Practice squad him. Be tackle. Practice squad him. Got him. Got him. Got him. Alright, we should be down to 18. Let's move along nicely here. And red, just to let you know while we're doing this, red means that they're at the lowest point of color category. It goes red, yellow, and green, and different shades of yellow and green. But red is like the lowest part, and if they're also normal and they're not at star, superstar, or X Factor, having nothing to do with fame but just ability, they're going to progress slower. So it could be a long time before they even get to yellow, which is, I would say, probably somebody that can take the field. Like red players a lot of times have a lot of things they have to work on. So you can keep them and upgrade them. Myself, I'm probably going to cut a lot of those players that are in the why do we have 2 kickers? Wait, will he cost us money or something? Then no, you let go of the one below him. I don't know why we have 2 kickers. I guess I must have picked one up. Oh, the punter. Oh. His stats is only a little bit higher than his, but he's a star. Tricky. How long has he been in the league? 12. So he might stick around for the rest. How long has he been in the league? 3. Let's see if we can cut around him, because he might be good for trades. We only need a couple more. Cut fellas. And cut him. We just need one more. We're searching for that. One more. We'll take a financial hit if I cut him. What about him? It'd be another financial hit. I don't want to take too many of those. One player. And I also don't want to get rid of people that can end up being good. Okay, we got a free safety here. What's this thing looking like? Yep. He'll work because also he doesn't play the zone very well. It's 66. And we are below. We are now below the time. We are now below the roster count. And let's see, because teams had to do check. A good tip also is when this happens, when they say get down to 53, check the free agency that week to see new players that would have got released by their teams. Like you see how Malcolm Jenkins is out here, Jimmy Smith, who else? Tony Jefferson wasn't here, so I would say out of all of them, I want to say I would pick up both of these guys, but then they're going to want to be paid the next year, so I'd leave them in free agency. Also, what I'm gonna probably do is keep a cap on how much I actually put back in the team. Like, I'm not gonna say, okay, well, we have access to, unlimited amount of cash. We're just gonna put, unlimited. Hold on, let me reset the table. We're just gonna put an unlimited amount of cash into the team. No, we're not gonna do that. I feel like that'll be kind of messed up. I say at minimum like maybe 100, depending on how the season goes. If you win the Super Bowl, you can see the team making $100 million in extra money during the playoffs and stuff like that. Who is this? KJ, right? KJ, I would rather you play the pass. Play the pass because I call a lot of zone. Ah, damn. I didn't upgrade him before I left. Okay, we got 171 staff points, but we're still not going to mess with that just yet, right? It's not something that we need to get into just yet with the team. Also, I've noticed that with our trades and our upgrades and stuff, the team has gotten up to an 80. So now they might end up winning some games and stuff like that. Like I normally do is if they win the Super Bowl, they win it. I'm not going to play it because that's the Lions. And, I'm building this from an owner's perspective. I'm not going to take the field until next year. So let's see where we're at. Players ready to negotiate. That window is opened. Who is who? Is it Fletcher Cox? I can't remember if he's a contract year.
These players are on the last year of their contract. Re-sign them to avoid losing them next season.
Okay, so out of all these people, Nicole Roby-Coleman, Zach Ertz, Schwartz, DeCastro, Sherman. Damn, they're all week 18s. Damn, even Cap's week 18. All of these dudes are week 18, so basically we can avoid the retrade retrade. We can avoid the resign window now by just signing Zach. Oh, the punter is up for a contract. He doesn't want that much. But I like the other guy, so probably end up trading him or something. Zach Ertz wants 22. What? 22 million over 4 years. It's only about 2 more million than 5 million a year. And then we have what's his name? Hawkinson. I'm gonna keep him because he's a pretty good player. This is surprising as Zach Ertz. You know, I think this is like a upgraded version of his contract because normally he only wanted a 1 year deal. So let's see, 4 years, 22 million. Let's get him on the books. That's a good offer. I'm glad we got the deal done. Okay, so I gave him 22 million. So it took 14 million from the money. Okay, so Nicole Roby wants to negotiate week 4, so everybody else, we can just keep them. Now, I exposed something that I kind of found out here is answer a media question. Zach Ertz is in the final years of his contract and has turned down your contract offers to this point. How far apart do you think both sides are? Honestly, I'm not sure how far apart he is, but he's going to be a part of this team one way or another. See, the roster rating now goes up by 5 because basically I paid him out and, you know, we're back at 300. But like I said, it depends on how the team goes and how they do. If they, you know, make the playoffs or something like that, I'll give them maybe like 20, 30 million, you know. But if they go far and win the Super Bowl, I'll probably pump another 100 in there just to have it for players and stuff like that, to have a bigger franchise team. I guess that's how much you would normally make when you make the Super Bowl and playoffs, because that's when I found out that you make, not to, you know, found out forever. Hold on one second. All right. So, getting the chair settled here. All right, so we're gonna go. Let's see. Where we at? Oh, okay. Advance a week. We're not gonna. Oh, players that are normally easily able to be picked up. This name is. I always go for Juszczyk. Kyle Juszczyk is the #1 rated fullback in football today in Madden. So I always take a trip over to the 49ers and see about picking up Juszczyk. He might be a week 18 as well. They're looking for a left outside linebacker, right guard, cornerback. Got him for a player-on-player trade. That'll work. I like that. Raises up our position very well. I run a lot. I run a lot of running plays if I can. Okay, we're good to simulate a week. Let's see. Also, when you play offline, the simulations are going to take a minute. Just a minute's almost a millisecond longer than what you would see in others. Who's the breakout player? Coach, I don't know if it's the food they're serving in the team cafeteria or what, but I've been on fire recently. Last week was the best game of the season for me. I want to be one of those guys who can do that every week. I'm ready to take the next step, man. So let's bring it to the pack this week. Hey, if y'all do y'all thing, you know, and he upgrades, that surely would make you look better on the roster. Get you more playing time, definitely. Maybe get you a contract re-signing. He can upgrade. He can do an automatic upgrade. Let's see here. Let's see. More media questions. What's the media question now? Many folks, including yourself, thought this team would perform better last season. How did it not come together? How do you avoid that again this season? Um, um, I think they'll make the playoffs. This team will probably make the playoffs. So we start by forgetting last season. This is a different team, and it's a team that knows we can't miss the playoffs again. If made the playoffs, popularity is +8. If we miss them, -15. So it's a lot riding on us making the playoffs. But with the team we have together already, with a couple players and Cap running things, I think they'll probably make the playoffs. 176 points. We're going to move along another week. They're 0-1 though. Ooh. What happened now? What'd it be? How'd it go? How did it turn out? We won 35-32. Okay, what happened with the breakout? What happened? Roll out the red carpet, baby, because I have arrived. Did you see me out there, coach? I'm an anchor on this defense, man. Oh, look at yourself. Look at you working yourself up to a star, sir. Yes, you will. You have made it past the normal franchise level and made it to star level. That is good to hear. I'm more than willing to keep you on a team and maybe think about a contract renegotiation. Normal is always going to be, hard to want to keep somebody at that level. But when you can work yourself up from a dev trait, from normal to star, yeah. Frank, I know he gets his stuff together. He's like a 90 around the time I'm going to get to him probably next year. Looks, he's already at 89. I haven't put the accelerators on. I haven't put the accelerators on for what's the name of that thing? For the team, because we're still getting the people we want on the team. Quintez, deep threat. He can upgrade him. Oh wait, no, that's him. Put it on run stopper. Yeah, it's the one that just worked himself up to star. Okay, we're in week 3 and 2 players are ready to negotiate. The punter. Oh, he's week 4. How much he want? $15 million for 2 years. I feel like it's a little high. Let me see his card. I'm not just. Oh, he does have good play recognition and his tackle is good. His block shedding, a lot of his morale is down, so it's messing with his points. I appreciate the fact that these 2 guys right here are willing to negotiate before the season ends. Because a lot of the other guys are signed through free agency and want to wait till the end. So, I may work something out with them. I don't want to commit right now. Oh, one of them, yeah. One of them. Oh, but he's week 4. That's right. He's week 4. He's next week. Back up. Let's see. One new injury. Who got hurt? I need to know. Okay, all these people are still hurt. The middle linebacker, okay. We can sim another week, though. Okay, fingers crossed that there's a quarterback. I normally also to explain this window. So, Madden shared draft classes have been crafted and shared by the community. Auto-generated classes will give you the most balanced experience. You can always use a local draft class. So, download from Madden Share gives you the ability to download. What people do is they watch college football and then they create next year's college stars so you can download the roster. You can go on YouTube and find rosters. I don't normally do that. What I normally do in all the years I've been playing is I go with auto-generated rookies, meaning they put out some stars, they put out some okay players, they put out some 7th round players, and you have to sift through. You have to swipe through the stats of each player and find the gems and players like that. So I go with auto-generated rookies. Fingers crossed that there's a quarterback, or at least 2 or 3.
Here's all the players that will appear in the upcoming draft.
Okay.
Select a player to learn more.
He's probably gonna be a gem.
Unlock his best skill. Each skill unlock will cost you scouting points. Unlock this player's true skill ranking to see if he's a diamond in the. You just found a diamond in the rough. Other teams will undervalue this player, and you may get the next Tom Brady.
So it's one of those things where now let's go to the QB position. So we have one first rounder. See what the next one is. Okay, we have another first rounder. And then we have another first rounder. And then we have another first rounder. And when you come to our picks, it says we pick round 1 first, and then round 24th, round 1, 24th pick, right? And then we have 2 firsts next year, which is wild, right? But sometimes it doesn't automatically stay that way. Like as the season progresses, it may change. Like last year, the Lions won the Super Bowl because I had got so many players on the team, and it changed the picks, and I had to go out and make trades at the last couple of weeks before the draft to get us, first round picks. Because there's 4 quarterbacks, right? It's a good chance that if you can get a top 5 if you can get a top 5 pick, you can get a top 5 quarterback. Because when you come over to all positions, this is where it shows you what the draft is most likely going to turn out to be, right? So you have a quarterback up here, picked at 1, picked at 7, 9, 10, right? So what you want to do is 9 times out of 10, you want to add all these guys to your board if you're trying to be in a quarterback position, because all of these guys will probably at least be a star. He probably going to end up being an X factor possibly, and depending on who comes out with the best, like, okay, see how he's a strong arm, scrambler, strong arm, improviser. So when you go with auto-generated, that's what it's going to look like in any draft, because there's always different kinds of quarterbacks. Now, at the same time, I normally go quarterback, halfback, D tackle, but you can go whatever position you pick. What I've discovered is it's like your own personal face of the franchise without having to go through the drama of the story. So let's see. Mid first rounder. I'm not going to have enough stats to finish it. Okay. So that's what you see me doing every week. When you see that I come in here and scout, I just been doing it without explaining it. Every year in Madden, I will explain it. There will be at least one video when we're setting up a video where I'll explain it for everybody that's watching it back on playback and everybody's watching it live, so that way you can know. The other negotiation I wanted to do, the only one left that I know I want to do is Nicole Roby Coleman, but he was week 4. That's right. Came back to the window and forgot. Just that fast. So, okay, advance a week to week 4. Are they going to beat the Ravens? Is it going to go down like that? He lost to the Ravens. It's okay. It's not one of those things where it's messed up. All right. So we had 4 players ready to negotiate. Everybody else that was on the negotiation window, we're not gonna like negotiate with them every time. Penny Swell. Oh yeah, Penny should have been starting.
Is hit. Put him in your lineup and evaluate him on the field to unlock his true potential.
Do I want Penny on power or do I want him on agile? I want him on power. We're gonna be running a power halfback system. Something where it's power. Oh, that came out of nowhere. All right. We can move on a week. Let's see what happens. Okay, start relocation. View available cities. I'm going to be rebuilding the Red Dragons because I feel like that's the best one for us. That way we have the same lineup, because then if we do something weird. Now, just to let you know, in the choose cities window, you can choose any city that comes up on the list. And they have some places outside of America, like international teams and stuff like that, Britain, Ireland, stuff like that. So if you want to relocate over there, you can make that choice and choose the jerseys and things that go along with it. What message from a breakout player? Who? Jackson Pierce, defensive coordinator. Coach just got the defensive coordinator could be a breakout player? Wow, this is something new. Coach just got a note ahead of this week's game. Keep an eye on Hand, the defensive lineman. I know we lost last week, but he played an incredible game. I'm not totally sold on him yet, but if he repeat performance against the Vikings this week, he might turn out to be a very special player. Oh, okay. Hey, Hand seems to really be elevating himself, and I haven't even put the points on. That's why I was like, a defensive coordinator could be a special, could be a special teams person. I'm like, what? Who's getting upgraded? Oh, he's getting upgraded again. He might be somebody. He might be somebody that needs to. Deshaun Hand. He might be somebody that needs to be stuck around, especially if he, maybe I need to work that contract out with him before this game. Are we in the week where he want to work his deal out? Because he didn't done some things, and if he turned into a superstar, that deal ain't gonna be 15 over. What was he wanting? 15 over 2. Let me see. Oh, to see now he wants 16 over 2. See, it just keeps going up the longer you wait. Let me see his card, man. Let me pull this dude's card. How long he been in the league? First of all, how long he been in the league? 3 years. Alabama, right in. 47 morale, 25th. He's in the top 20 of right ends. Play recognition, strength. His play recognition is green. I always like to see that. His power moves are a little down. He can stand some power moves. His tackle's down. His tackle's up. Block shedding's only down 1 point. His awareness is down. He doesn't have much agility. Charismatic, bull rush, high motor, battle tendencies. This is what we're going to do. So that way we don't lose him on the whole thing. We're going to start negotiations with him. 16. I can see 16. He's been elevating himself, and I'd rather get him under contract now before he potentially pops to be a superstar. So 16 over 2. Got the deal done with him. He'll be sticking around. Nicole Roby, he wants 4. I want him for 2 years. Pause. So it'll be 9-6 or 9-7 actually. I'd like to take in a better salary than what you're offering. We can work on that. You the one that said you wanted $2 million. And then, okay, we got, college players. Just got to see. We were at, what position were we at? We were at defensive tackle, right? D tackle. Finished his. Finish his. First rounder. Oh yeah, we guaranteed to keep this season. Yeah, see what you want to do. Now we have 4 defensive tackles that we can choose from if I wanted to play defensive tackle, right? And then a halfback, you have a lot of, you don't even have a first. 1 second. So let's see here. Second rounder. Halfbacks is going to be wild this year. Glad we got Kareem Hunt on the bench already. Let me just make sure it ain't no first rounder stuck. Okay. Got a second rounder stuck in the 3rd round. Outside of that, we'll just let the dev trades be the dev trades. Those are the positions that I would play. Now we have to think about positions that would be occupied by the computer. Okay, 1 first round wide receiver. And I got to come back with more points. Media question. 1 in 3. Let me guess. It's about the team? Something like that? You're officially moving the franchise after the season. Why do you assume you'll be more successful there than here? More fans. I get that many of our fans are upset, but the long term, this move allows us to bring in a whole new generation of fans. Yep. Per win in new city, per loss. So the scales is tipped against us a little bit. What that means is if we win a game, we get 2 points in team popularity. If we lose a game, we get -5 because, we are supposed to be winning in our new city is what we said. Nicole Roby Coleman. He wanted more salary. So I was offering him 4-9, right? Oh, okay. We didn't send him a week yet. Oh yeah, and this is the breakout week too. Let's see if our guest turned out. Now, I signed him to a contract because he's already a star, but let's see if he can become a superstar and we have him under contract. Let's see what happened. I'm really disappointed about Deshaun Ham's performance this week. I thought he was going to make a jump from good to great, but maybe I read on him. Maybe I had a bad read on him. Who knows? Hey, still a star, and a lot of players also develop behind the scenes. Just because he didn't get his breakout doesn't mean he won't get the next one. Okay, choose team name. The Red Dragons. I go with the Red Dragons for a lot of different reasons. I like the logo. The colors match our color scheme to SR51 Media. It's pretty nice. I've played with other teams before, though. Upgrade players. Who's coming in for an upgrade? He can upgrade himself. We're also coming up on the last week of trades as well. We have 215 points. I think the last week of trades is week 8, I want to say. Choose uniform. This is the uniform I went with. I like the new one, the kind of airbrush one. I had these last year, and I had never played with these. I just didn't like them. So the ones we're going with have 63 popularity. Those have a lot, but I don't really like them. So this one. And because we know the settings and all that, we can move faster than what we normally was when we created last time. Upgrade. Kareem Hunt. I'd rather go power. Build up his power running. Raquel Brooks, run stopper. Michael Brokers. Michael Brokers. I'm going to say Brokers. And everyone else can upgrade. Okay, one new injury. Who's injured? Tavi got hurt, dislocated his elbow. He's out for 7 weeks. Jump another week. We're 2-4. We're 3-4 going up against the Eagles. Choose stadium. This is where, if I notice correctly, something different from previous Madden years. They don't charge you for the stadium. See, I went with basic futuristic stadium. Deluxe, huh? What's above that? No, I'm gonna go with basic. I go with basic futuristic. It's my first year with it, and I really liked it from the last one. So I'm going to go with that as the pick. And if you notice, we're at 293. And it doesn't look like they're going to take anything from us. But because we're inside of the, what do you call it? Because we're inside of the, brain fart. Because we're inside of the offline mode, you're allowed to add funds back if they did take the stadium costs out. I noticed that they have Darius Slay. Gonna see if something could be worked out for big play Slay. I wouldn't mind having him as a player. Let's see for left ends. Ain't gonna be nobody they want. Got Darius Slay for Michael Brookers. So now we have big play Slay on our side. Okay, we're going to upgrade everybody here. TJ Hawkinson, he might be sticking around. He's definitely probably sticking around. Yeah, I might let him play over top of Ertz. Jared Goff can upgrade himself. All right, now this is where you come into manage staff, right? And if you're going to be in the last week doing trades like maybe I will, right? You want to come over to player personnel. And then you want to get trades, 5% discounts on trade, 5% discount on players older than 30, right? And then for the off season, you want to get 5% discount on players over 80 re-signing. And you want to get the first discount, and then if you can, get all 3 discounts, right? So now 5% discount on players under 90 over re-sign, right? Then you want to say left ends, D tackles, right ends. I don't think I have that many of them that's re-signing this year, so that can wait a minute, right? Offensive linemen, we have 2 of them that we need to come back. So you need both of those if you can, right? Free safeties, we don't have any of those. Like I said, defensive tackles, so you can keep some of the stuff. Now here's here we go. 2% discount trade, 2% trade discount for computer draft picks. Pick that up, and then if you can, get the other one as well, right? So now when you go to pick a draft pick to trade for, it should give you the draft pick that would give you closer to number 1. So what I'm going to do is, now that we did all of that, we'll come over here to, that's why I didn't trade a lot of our players away. Let's see if it's still there. We're supposed to be picking number 1, right? Or I can see in scout players actually. Okay, we picked number 6, and now it's number 6 everywhere. So you see how, you have to roll with the punches type of thing. If you had number 1, you had number 1. That's why I'm scouting players that can be around number 1. Okay, so wide receiver, he came out. I must have missed him. He just came out of the draft. Okay, let's see if there's other wide receivers. Okay, he's looking pretty nice. Pause. We'll come back to those middle linebacker. 1. Not really my position, but just good to know what linebacker looking like. Okay, good first rounder. And then the board is a good thing to create, because sometimes it's kind of hard to come in here during the draft and find exact players that you did a full scouting report on. And we're going to need some cornerbacks. That's raw. That's tough if we can get them. You want to at least scout the first round. I don't have a second round pick. It goes to the 3rd round. So you want to at least scout down to the rounds you have to know what you're looking at that year. That's how you get good draft picks and pick out good players. All right, we're out of points. So we picked 6 now. So let's say, hold on, I hit the window by accident. Okay, so Where is it? So now we pick sixth, right? So let's say we can't pick sixth. You have four. Well, it was four. Now it's three. He's dropped, and take him off the board. He's dropped. So you have three good quarterbacks that you can pick from in the sixth to by the time you get to six. Now let's say the first three picks are all three quarterbacks. Okay. Well, you can come over here to the defensive tackle position, and there's four defensive tackles. So by the time they go 4 or 5, you can pick a defensive tackle, and that's where you could be. Same thing applies to whatever position you're playing, right? Now, if you really wanted to take over, say, a different position, you could also go halfback, right? First rounder here, second rounder here. So let's say the halfback is still up there. Maybe you could take the halfback and just work on his stats and get him the way you want to get him. You know, you never know. So I'm open to sticking with our pick. You know, I don't think we should trade away a lot of our players that are pretty good because I think that's what's going to weaken the team. I have the players from the Eagles that I was looking for, and you know I can't really write. Oh, I know who I want to see if I can get. I always do this now in the game. Well, I don't always do it. I did it this year, and then I went and got other people, but I wish I would have kept the one player. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the Patriots, and I'm going to work a deal for Stephon Gilmore. I'm going to see if I can bring him over as an X Factor. They're looking for a quarterback, D tackle, or left end. Okay, first thing we'll do is drop in the left end. They won't want him. Right outside linebacker. I want to hold on to Trey Flowers if I can. D tackle. Nobody there they would want. Quarterback, huh? I normally hold Jared Goff for the Eagles because I know they're looking for a quarterback. So let's see if I can't. What about Jamal Williams? Okay, no interest in Jamal Williams. Okay, how about any of these wide receivers? None of them interest him. Okay. Okay. They ain't dumb. They know they got a good player on their hands. I ain't giving up a first. Let's just ship him Jared Goff. Player for player. Oh, man. Damn, we got that type of belief in him. Colin Kaepernick is rated higher, so hey. I want to keep Swift. Oh, what are they looking for? They want a defensive tackle, middle linebacker, right outside linebacker. What about Trey Flowers? All right, yeah, I can let Trey Flowers go. Damn, they don't want Trey Flowers ball. They will want that first, huh? Nah. How many years ago on this contract?
This player has a zone ability. This is a powerful ability that can be activated when the player completes in-game objectives. Only X-Factor players have zone abilities.
How many years left on that contract? I might be trying to negotiate while he has 2 years left when I can wait till next year when he only has one. Yes, he has 2 years left. That's why they're all hardcore about it. I'll just come back at the end of the season when he only has 1 year left. Oh, but you know what? They might not. They might work a deal out with him. If we had draft capital and players to pick him up, might gotta be like Might gotta be like Fletcher Cox. Might gotta give him one of those first round picks. Ain't nobody on this team. Let's see something. They're looking for ends. They're looking for a name like a all right, we'll just let them go. We can come back next year, and we might need the first round pick to trade up for one of our players. So we'll just leave him there. If they re-sign him, you know, he ain't going nowhere. Okay, let's see what this window look like. All these players can walk. All these players in the middle. So I don't see. Let me make sure there's nobody asking for ridiculous cash. Pretty standard money. Cap won $24 million a year. It depends on what our draft pick is. So we can skip the rest of the weeks for player negotiation. Well, let me make sure there's nobody left, because when you don't negotiate with them, he plays zone very well. 82. It could be even $3 million for your salary. I'm okay with that. And then $15 million for the sign, $2.15 million for the signing bonus. I'm excited to sign such a great offer and stay with the team. Yeah. Now build yourself up from a star to a superstar. Our punter. Wait, now this punter, the young punter, he wants $5.26 million. Let's just go to punters. I'm about to go all the way to the end. Punters. He wants $3 million. So either way, we're probably covered. It's about, he wants $3 million a year. He wants $5 million for 2 years. So I might go with the star punter over everybody else. All right. Everybody else is week 18, so we'll come back in week 18. Scout college players. All right, we already out of points. Eagles 2-5. We're 3-4. We just took Darius Slayer away from him, Fletcher Cox, and Brandon Graham. We won 58-13. There's a media question. What's the media question? It's been up front. It's been an up and down first half of your team. What do you want to expect in the second half of the season? It's hard for me to say that right now, but either way, the team needs to just focus on the next game first and foremost. Yep. Per win, per loss. Like, let's not make for, playoff shots. Keep y'all in playoffs, because this team might not make it. And that'll affect us as we move forward. Upgrades. They can all upgrade. Okay, we can advance another week. Upgrades. Power. I'll put it on speed if that's what you're working out to be. Four and four, send it again. Damn it, pick weekly strategies instead of upgrade.
Welcome to Weekly Strategy.
No,
This shows
no.
this is how you access the new player help screen.
Upgrade. Romeo. We'll upgrade him. Everybody else can upgrade themselves. We'll save a lot of money too by not signing a lot of those in-between players that are between them and the week 18 signings. We're almost at week 18. Advance a week. Upgrade again. Everyone in here can upgrade themselves. Oh, means it's scouting. Found the hidden gem. Let's see. Right end gonna be looking kind of scarce this year. Looks like. Yeah, after that first round, they kind of fall off. Damn, even a middle linebacker, they ain't gonna be no middle linebackers to speak of this year like that. So far. Oh, I wanted to see how's that. We'll see around draft day. I don't need to check it now, or I'll check it next week. So what I'm doing is I'm simulating the game, right? I'm not playing in the game itself. I'm just letting it play out. So what I like to do is let the team finish their original year, however they finish it with the new players that we put on there, and then take over when they become the new team. Okay, let's see. Playoff picture. Are they in the playoffs? Nope. As it stands, they would miss the playoffs. So the Packers are ahead of them, but you never know what ends up happening at the end of the year. I think when I pumped in too much talent, that's what got them a Super Bowl win, and nobody wanted to stick around. So it's okay. Upgrade players. Trey Burton, it'll make him look more better as a trade if we have to. Okay, we have 125 points. Let's put some more on renegotiations. We have some cornerbacks I just realized have to re-sign as well. So if they have something for that, that'd be great. Here it is. It's down here. Put on a strong safety. Trying to get here. That's what we want. Cornerbacks. So now when we go to sign Richard Sherman and the rest back, they'll come through. And then all of these matter as well too, because there's going to be times where we have to we have to sign players, but you know we'll put the points as far as for the team when we start up for the points they'll get them as the season progresses. Right, so they're not in the playoff picture. They're having a losing season. We needed players to re-sign back. Okay, so a lot of D tackles coming out. Good amount of cornerbacks. How's that quarterback position looking? Oh, he brought himself back up to a number one. Guess whatever he was doing, he changed. I see how it fluctuates. What are we picking now? We're picking 12th and 23rd. And then, oh, they're not showing me next year's picks. So we picked 1st, 23rd, 23rd, and 18th. Wow, it's messed up with the year we're having. I'm surprised they're giving us those sorts of picks. We're not in the playoffs, and they're making us pick 12th. Like, it's a top 20, but I feel as though we should be like a top 10. Okay, we're at week 13. We're moving along. Before you know it, it'll be the end of the season, and we'll be on to off-season work and stuff like that. Upgrade. Deshaun's been upgrading himself very nice this year. I gambled on his contract, and I mean, he didn't come back a superstar, but he still stayed a star. Okay, we got a good handle on Scout. We can drop that for like a week or two. You're fighting for playoff positioning right now, but with 2 straight losses, do you feel an opportunity of slipping away? No, absolutely not. We've hit a bump with the playoffs, but this is a playoff team. I don't think anything slipped away, but if we do fail to make the playoffs, there will be some big changes to this roster. No, this is a playoff team, but if we do miss the playoffs, it comes back to coaching. Nope, comes back to the players. Comes back to the players on that one, bro. If y'all missed the playoffs, that means that that Lions team that was assembled couldn't get it done, which is understandable because we're in rebuild mode right now, and we're relocating the team. So we can drop the scout for a week or two. We don't need to scout every week. All right, so we'll be moving forward here. Oh, there's a breakout player message. Who's the breakout player now? Strong safety. Coach, I just want to say I really like the defensive schemes I've been running recently. Last week was the best game I've played all year, and I feel like I'm finally figured things out. Another game like last week, and man, I feel like I've arrived. Hold the Cardinals to 200 less passing yards. Hey, who knows? Depends on what you guys can do. All right, so just to cover myself, but not to make it time consumingly so we can save some time here, I'm going to make sure that the first round is scouted. At least the first round. Because we do make 2 first round picks, and I don't want it to be that our first round pick was a dud. See, there are some first round duds out there. They call them first round busts. I call them first round duds. They're not up to that category, and if you don't do your research, you can end up drafting them. Like a lot of linemen are coming out that way, so the lineman thing doesn't seem like it really gets restocked, and then we'll just use the rest of the points on the line. Okay. So we're down into like the second round. We pick 2 first round picks, and then we're done for basically the rest of the draft. So there's no point in scouting any further past this point. Because I don't plan on trading back. I plan on making our first round picks. They said we're fighting for playoff positioning. That's up to them what they do with that. Olivia Vernon, we'll upgrade him, power rusher. I normally also like to upgrade where I want them to play, not where they've been playing since they've come to the team. A lot of times certain players could be a different archetype, but you can change their stats if you get enough of them
to change their player scheme, and they will play better that way, depending on what you want to run. Okay, next week. What happened with the breakout player? I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I hold myself to this defense. I understand. I didn't live up to it today. Hey, you put that on yourself. Okay, so upgrade players. Just upgrades, no more stats. DeAndre Swift. Elusive. Put it on elusive. He ain't nowhere near power. Then we're gonna get to week, I think it's 18, and then we can negotiate with. Hold on, let me make sure there's nobody. Oh no, let me wait till week 18. All these star players we picked up. Yeah, they're week 18 people. And we're up to 300. We're back up to 300 million, which is good. Even as losses, we made some money. We're done with scouting. So 2 more weeks. Upgrade. Taylor. Put this on power. Excuse me, put that on power. Star. Penny Sewell. Season's almost over. I felt like should have been a superstar. Power. Still hidden. Hawkinson. Vertical threat. He's just getting better and better. What's his rating at? He's number 7. A kicker. Put this on accurate. Now, is this the rookie kicker? Oh, his accurate is really down. Oh, no, that's the kicker. Thought it was the punter. I don't need to scout anybody. We can send to the next week. Okay, now we're in the last week. Week 18, when your free agencies, most of your free agent picks might actually want to negotiate around this week. So you don't want to simulate the season. If you simulate the season, it's going to simulate week 18, and you're not going to be able to negotiate. So let's come up here to player ready to negotiate. Remember, we're playing offline. We're starting an offline franchise, so you have access to the add 5 million. So if they don't make the playoffs, I think the most I'll give them is maybe like 20 or 30 million. So let's come over here to the week 18 people. Let's start with Mitchell. He wants 27 over 2. I'm willing to give him that. Put 3 on it, 4 on it, just to make sure he takes it. I really like duration, but I like money. I really like the duration, but I like to make money during that time. Okay, so we'll get to negotiate again at the end of the year, so we'll see what happens. Castro wants $10 million a year. Make it 7. Actually giving them 2 years. That's exactly the offer I was hoping to get next season. Will be great. Okay, so we got to get Mitchell back, but we got him in here. Richard Sherman, he wants $10 million a year. Richard Sherman retired on me, so I'm gonna wait on his contract. No, yeah, Mm, mm, How about this? This is what we're going to do. We have the franchise set up. We know that we don't have to re-roll. We know where we are. We've simulated the first season. We're at the end of the season where we have to do off-season work, but we have the franchise set up. We know what we're going to be doing, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop this stream here because I know that there's a football game coming on right now, the Buccaneers versus Dallas Cowboys. I'm an Eagle, but go get them Buccaneers. You know, and if I'm oddly correctly, nobody treads on football. We're all going to watch football. So if there's going to be another stream, make sure to like, subscribe here. Not for another stream. There will be another stream in general. But make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Set alerts so you get notified when we go live. Also, follow us on Twitter. We are SR51 Media on Twitter. I am Saltares on Xbox. Of course, we are SR51 Media on YouTube. We are SR51 Media on TikTok. And we are Salt Aries and Rose Aries on Facebook. The Rose Aries part got cut out. I have to fix that. And also, you know, stay up to us. Stay upbeat. You know, become one of us. Join, merge on social media so you can get notified. I always put it out on social media when we're live, and I always, you know, make sure to tell you to set alerts so that way you get notified when we go live. But enjoy the game, and if there's another stream, you will get notified of it, and I'm pretty sure there'll probably be. I'm just going to watch the game first. So have a good rest of your day if I don't see you again, and thanks for all the support. As always, it's greatly appreciated. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.